Have you ever wondered what truly wins a war? It's not always about having the biggest army or the best weapons. History is filled with stories where the tide turned on a single, split-second decision made under incredible pressure. Imagine a commander, surrounded by the fog of war, with only bits and pieces of information. A messenger is late, a signal is unclear, but waiting isn't an option. They have to trust their gut, that intuition shaped by years of experience, and act before they're certain. Archaeologists have found ruins of entire civilizations that hesitated for just a moment too long. Fortresses still packed with unused supplies, signal fires that were never lit. It's a chilling reminder that in battle, advantage evaporates in the blink of an eye. Sometimes, though, the winning move wasn't a heroic charge. It was the complete opposite. Restraint, the discipline to hold a position while the enemy exhausts themselves, battling not just your soldiers, but the terrain and the weather itself. It's a risky gamble. We can see from historical records how close that patience came to causing a mutiny, as soldiers starved and shivered, doubting their leader's plan. But when it worked, it was devastatingly effective, turning the landscape into a weapon. Then there's the art of deception, a single order to light fake campfires, creating the illusion of a massive army where there was none. A silent march through the dead of night to appear where least expected. These tricks played on the enemy's mind, luring them into catastrophic mistakes. It's easy to look back and call it genius, but modern simulations showed just how thin the line was between a brilliant victory and total annihilation. One wrong move, one scout discovering the truth, and the entire plan would have collapsed. But perhaps the most powerful and overlooked decision of all was mercy, choosing to spare a city or an enemy leader instead of destroying them. While legends love to focus on epic battles and total destruction, archaeology tells a different story. In places where mercy was shown, life returned. Markets reopened, roads were repaired, and new alliances were forged that lasted for centuries. It proves that a true victory isn't always about crushing your opponent, but about knowing the precise moment to end the violence to build a lasting peace. In the end, history's greatest victories weren't inevitable. They were born from embracing uncertainty, from deception, restraint, or even mercy when everyone expected the opposite. It shows that timing, courage, and a deep understanding of human nature are what truly shaped the course of history. History is written by the victors, but what if the most important victories weren't victories at all? What if they were desperate acts of survival? Choices made not for glory, but to stave off complete annihilation. We celebrate heroes who stood their ground, but archaeology is uncovering a different story. It reveals lost civilizations that clung to ritual and honor, only to be wiped from existence. Meanwhile, the cultures that survived were often the ones who knew when to retreat, when to abandon tradition for one more day of existence. Ancient maps, long ignored, show not just battle plans but evacuation routes and fallback positions. These weren't signs of cowardice, they were lifelines. Climate catastrophes like sudden floods or volcanic winters forced these impossible choices, collapsing timelines and turning sacred ground into a death trap. New evidence shows that strategic withdrawals, once seen as defeats, actually saved entire peoples, proving that knowing when not to fight was the ultimate form of victory. We see the proof in abandoned settlements, tools left behind in a hurry, and myths that recast a desperate flight as a divinely guided journey. Modern technology lets us peer back into these moments with terrifying clarity. Simulations replay historical scenarios, showing how narrowly these gambles paid off. A decision made a few minutes later, a retreat route a few meters to the side, and entire cultures would have vanished. Satellite data reveals how slim the margins were, how a commander's choice was dictated by a closing weather window or a single mountain pass. These tools stripped the romance from war, revealing it as a brutal series of human judgments made under unbearable pressure. Yet, this truth is often the hardest to accept. We prefer narratives of unwavering strength, not fragile adaptation. Forbidden documents and suppressed archives tell the stories of commanders haunted by their choices, fully aware that their so-called triumph rested on a razor's edge of risk. They abandoned ideals long enough to preserve them for the future, but history rarely remembers that detail. Textbooks condense these complex, doubt-filled moments into simple, inevitable outcomes. They erase the routes not taken, the plans abandoned, and the sheer luck involved. The truth is uncomfortable because it reveals that many celebrated victories were near guided by courage in the face of uncertainty, not absolute mastery. Across all these battles, the constant is the human mind, weighing incomplete information against irreversible consequences. History wasn't just shaped by grand strategies, but by moments of doubt resolved under pressure, where climate, terrain, and chance could turn a small choice into a world-altering event. The future has always depended on individuals daring to choose differently, with no guarantee they'd be remembered as heroes. As we face our own uncertainties, it's a chilling reminder that our survival may once again depend on a choice made in the quiet moments between disaster and a new dawn.